And the nurse brought the little hungry, starving boy a tall glass of milk. And when she placed it in the little lad's hands, he started to drink, then stopped, and looking up into her face, said, "Nurse, how deep may I drink?" What a revelation of poverty! For heretofore, when the little boy had a glass of milk, it had to be shared, just so much, with a large family of little children, and he could only drink just so much. How deep, nurse, may I drink? And the nurse replied, "My child, to the full, all of it." So with the salvation of God for our souls, we may drink to the full, we may take all of it. This glorifies God. There was a construction worker in the days of the Depression who found difficulty finding work. He had a large family, he had 6 children, and the time came for school. And 2 of his boys and his one little girl needed shoes, and he had no money with which to buy shoes. And when he saw his boys playing out in the street, they'd use their shoes for brakes as their scooters went down the hill. And the little girl skipped the rope on a rough sidewalk. And every time he looked at them, he kind of winced, wearing out their shoes. And while he was contemplating the prospects of school without shoes, his wife came and said that the washing machine had hopelessly, irreparably broken down, it couldn't be mended, and they had to have a washing machine. So in despair, the construction worker, with no work, looked through the pages of the newspaper for a second-hand washing machine. He found an address. He made his way to the place and stood before a beautiful home. Standing there, further resentment built up in his soul. Some people have all the luck and all the good fortune, and he has nothing but poverty and distress. He rang the doorbell. He was graciously invited in. Inside of the beautiful kitchen, resentment built up in him still deeper. Some people have it all, and he has nothing. He looked at the washing machine. The couple graciously offered it to him for just a few dollars. They were so kind and sympathetic he began to pour out his needs to them and finally mentioned the 2 boys who wore out their shoes for brakes on scooters going down the street and the little girl skipping rope on the sidewalk, and then asked if maybe the couple didn't have some worn out children's shoes that he might use. When he said that, there was an awkward and painful silence in the kitchen. And the wife looked at her husband, and then, as she quickly left the room, suppressed a sob as she walked through the door. And the construction worker said, well, mister, I don't know what I've done, but I didn't mean to do it. I don't know what I said wrong, but I didn't mean to say it. I ask your forgiveness. The man looked at the floor a long time, swallowed hard, and said, why friend, you didn't say a thing wrong. You didn't say anything wrong. He said, it's just that my wife and I have one little child, a little girl, and she can never walk. And you just don't know how we give everything we possess for a little pair of worn out shoes. The construction worker said, that night I got out 3 pair of worn out shoes, and I laid them before the Lord. And on my knees I thanked God for my boys who could use shoes for brakes when their scooters went down the street, and I thanked God for a little girl who could skip rope on a sidewalk. What shall I render unto the Lord for all his benefits toward me? I will offer to thee, O God, the sacrifice of thanksgiving.